movies for black girl nerds.
Thank you, ladies, for your time in this marvelous film and mother-daughter relationships. It touched me in a number of ways. Thank you so much for your performances. Rosalie, beginning with you, some of the most difficult conversations we can have as people is expressing our feelings. Mm-hmm. Adding on to that, the layer of going through changes and adolescence and all of those different things. When you reflect back on that time in your own life, what would you say you have most in common with your character in trying to express who you are and this next chapter in your life at that age?
Well, she's also only 16 now.
Yeah.
So I think it's still going on.
Well, when you're 16, you think you're grown, but just the beginning of 13, just the beginning.
I mean, honestly, I still feel like I'm 13. I don't think much has changed because I started recording for Mei when I was 12, so 12 to 16. I literally went through what Mei went through this movie. So I would say, there are a lot of situations that Mei is in the movie that I literally went through maybe like the day before recording that scene or whatnot.
Oh, that's awesome. Sandra, beginning with you, when you reflect on your own coming of age and making a choice to take a different path, maybe that your family would have liked, what kept you grounded, made you feel secure, or were there even times where you felt secure in going in that different path?
That's a great question because looking back on that time, what actually made me feel secure to actually go and defy my family was actually my family. It's the grounding that I know not everyone gets to have, right? But I was blessed with my parents. Yeah, they didn't want me to be an artist. they were, a very classic immigrant background. It's like a security is very, very important. But as in the movie, I chose to follow my inner panda, and then carved out a career from it. But the beginning of your question, it is because I had a profound grounding and love and security with my family that I was able to disappoint them and know that I would not crumble. It feels like you do. It feels like you're going to when you really have to defy your parents, but it's a necessary thing to develop as an adult.
It's a beautiful thing. I mean, salute to the parents out there who are okay with their children becoming artists, because that is a rare jewel. So Rosalie, back over to you. When you wanted to choose this path of being an artist, were they okay? Was it a hard conversation?
I mean, I'm from an Asian household. So at first my mom was just like, what are you talking about? She didn't even understand what I wanted to do. But then my dad actually is really into watching movies and TV shows. So he really encouraged me, saying, you know what? Just go for it. Take acting classes and see what happens.
Oh, so fantastic.
Yeah. And my mom's like, okay, we'll try. And here we are today.
I think that speaks to kind of like a generational change, from my generation to then having a younger generation where their parents will just be like, no problem, we will support you. It's great.
It is. We're probably the same age, and my mom still doesn't know what I do. So it's all great. Thank you, ladies, for your time in this lovely film. I loved it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, ladies, for your time. I appreciate this lovely, lovely film.
Thank you.
Beginning with you, Domee, I had such the pleasure of being with you I took the trip to the Pixar campus, and when I got to see that,
yeah.
Oh, and it was awesome. And that touched me so, and this touched me in the same way. I love how you weave your stories with your family in a very realistic and relatable way. When you think about the crafting of a story like Turning Red, what is the origin point for telling that story? Does it begin with the love? Does it begin with the lessons? Or does it begin with the trauma of the first time we as young ladies experience that?
Ooh,
such a good question.
It is. I mean, I always lead with like the element that feels the most powerful, and I think that probably is the trauma, or just that feeling of embarrassment and awkwardness and uncomfortableness of puberty. And that was what inspired Turning Red, was wanting to go back to when I was 13 and I was experiencing all of these big changes in myself, in my relationship with my mom, and just kind of trying to unpack that in an entertaining and unexpected way.
Mm-hmm. What was also stood out to me is we see lots of coming of age stories, but they're very seldom really told from a young lady's point of view and what she's experiencing. We've seen tons of towel on the nightstand type of shows and that center on boys. For you, Lindsey, what was the element that that made you say, yes, I got to get involved with Domee and get on this project with her?
I think exactly that. I think like you, I'd seen Bao and obviously was like, I loved it and was so kind of surprised by it, and it felt so different and so bold, really, as a story. And so I loved that. And then obviously getting to work with Domee in development very early on, I got a better sense of kind of her style of storytelling and kind of the way she worked and what she kind of thought was funny, and how she would kind of lean into moments that were the ones that you don't normally see, or that characters were making choices that you're like, wait, what? Like, I mean, a little like that you're shocked a little bit by, but shocked in a way that makes you go like, oh my God, that's actually true. That actually happened to me, or something similar. So I think that you're absolutely right that we don't see girl coming of age stories, or at least when we do, they feel kind of one-dimensional or a little bit sanitized, if you will. And this one, it just didn't. I think from the very beginning, Domee, and I think we knew that, right? Because having seen Bao, it's like nobody questioned whether Domee was going to come at adolescence from kind of a safe, straightforward way, that we were going to get something that was going to be much more kind of unapologetic and kind of nuanced in its telling. And that is everything I love about producing and storytelling, is working with directors who have that kind of vision.
Absolutely. All your films make me hungry. But lastly, Domee, what song, there's a lot of boy bandom in the film. What boy band song do you think you could sing with absolute confidence if someone said, look, you can't have water for 24 hours unless you belt this out? What boy band song could you?
It's gonna be me. It's gonna be me. Not necessarily because it's gonna be me. It's gonna be me by NSYNC. That is my go-to for karaoke.
I was just gonna say, if you guys have a karaoke party for the premiere, you got to sing it.
Oh,
I know, right?
Is there? It's got to be one.
I don't know. We might just have to create one. Just be like, grab a mic.
Just go to K-Town. Just go to K-Town and do it.
That's awesome. Well, I thank you, ladies, for your time in this lovely little gem of a film. I enjoyed it, and a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Better shake your booties for black girl nerves. Better shake your booties for black girl nerves.